Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever and whenever you are. I hope you are having a lovely time. I'm gonna be honest, I'm cutting it close. It's Thursday. This is supposed to go up tomorrow. And basically what I've been struggling with for the past 2 weeks is actually such a good thing. It's that I have had so much that I want to talk about or commonplace about. I have so many new ideas in regards to journaling that, or just like I said, things that I want to talk about in media that I want to interact with that I just haven't, like YouTube videos that I've been meaning to go back to and never do. Because there's something in the content that has really spoke to me. So I guess we're just gonna rapid fire through them as I journal. Just another 1-page spread. It's about jewelry. Are we surprised? No. But that's because easy isn't easy. Jewelry is extremely easy to commonplace about because it has something visual and then you can comment on it. Whereas I'm getting some of the stuff I really want to talk about, I'm not sure I have a visual to go out with it. So maybe then it would just be a lot of words on a page, and I've done spreads like that and they're not as interesting to me. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Like I said, I think this is a good problem to have because I think it reflects strongly on my mental health. I think it is a sign that I'm better, that I'm not having a lot of or as much to stress about, because now my mind is free to contemplate, to question, to investigate different topics. And that's always a good thing. It's always a good thing to have a lot to talk about. I think it reflects strongly on the kind of media I've been watching. I think it means that I've been scrolling a lot less on Instagram or Pinterest and mindlessly just pinning images that I like or getting quick short snippets of things. And I'm actually watching, or on YouTube, I'm not just watching Good Mythical Morning and binge watching 10 of their videos and which, we all need that in our lives, okay? We all need to laugh and watch some dumb brain rot content every once in a while. But I think it means that I'm watching longer form content that is actually helping me critically think. It's engaging my mind. Like I said, it's making me question, want to investigate and look at things. So a lot of the commonplace video today is not me commonplacing in the journal. It's me recording this voiceover for future Erica, to be like, this is what I was into. This is actively commonplacing. YouTube is commonplacing too, right? Because it's just continuing a discussion. But let's rapid fire. The first thing is I've been thinking a lot about native plants and wild food. I've been watching, I think it's Seth Hughes, do the Wild Biome Project, in which he is having to eat all wild food, or essentially only foods that were available to ancient peoples, or peoples long ago, basically before industrialization made everything so accessible. And he talks a lot about how we've progressed so fast in our food that our bodies are not adapted to eating the shit that we're eating. We don't know what to do with all this sugar and all this stuff. And it's been very interesting watching him having to go forage for plants and look at all these things that just look green that I thought were just things that maybe animals ate or that bugs lived on and bugs ate, to him being oh, this can be used as a spice, or this tastes very similar to ginger, or you can actually eat this. Did you know that? Going foraging, going crabbing and eating fresh crabs and fresh fish that he's caught, or having to severely limit the amount of hazelnuts he eats because we're so addicted to sugar and to carbs, and watching how that's affected his body. And one of his videos is actually longer, more so discussion about like the mental impact of it. And that had so many good nuggets of information that I was like, this is something I need to go back and take notes on and write down what I was thinking as I was watching this video and the things that were coming up in my brain. And for some reason, I just didn't press pause and didn't go get a piece of paper and write it down, or pull out my phone and write it down, like that sounds so silly, but I didn't do that. And I just turned off the TV from watching a YouTuber talk about personal style. And there were a lot of nuggets of information about, how much time personal style takes, and how so much of it is us thinking, what will other people think about us, when in reality, no one is thinking about us. Which is just a constant, I feel like, reminder that we have to have, or me thinking about how she's over here saying, like, so many people are, like, so much of the fashion we see is so, chronically online is the term that everyone's using. Whereas, like, if you walk around in real life, you'd never see people dressed like that. And I've had to really grapple this year of, like, my personal style is so casual, it's so down to earth, it is so unfanciful. I have no place to wear all these formal garments. If I have an excuse to wear sweatpants, if I could wear sweatpants every day for the rest of my life, weather permitting, I would. And that made me think of an Instagrammer I follow, I have recently followed in the past couple months, and she's sharing just very casual, like, wardrobe diaries. And I even commented on one of her posts and was like, this is so refreshing. And, like, even that felt silly, and she kind of replied and was like, I thought I was just kind of, like, posting, what I was wearing, what made me comfy. But seeing I'm going to use, like, words like real clothes on a real body, what does that mean? I'm just watching another human on the internet dress the way that she typically would. But again, we're so used to seeing, I'm going to sound like every other person on the internet. We're so used to seeing this particular style or this particular set of aesthetics and styles presented to us online and online only by people who look a certain way, size, race, ethnicity, petite, weight, stuff like that. But, like, if we look around us in real life, no one is dressing like that. No one, like, what is actually personal style that I will actually wear? So that's been something that's really deep on my mind lately. Grief is still something that's been on my mind lately. I won't go super deep into that. Just like how it comes and goes in waves, and I never thought I've never lost anyone, which I'm so extremely lucky to be able to say. I've never lost anyone. This is the first time in my life where I feel like I'm actually going through grief of a person, or in this case, an animal. And I remember I was visiting my grandpa, and he was talking to me about how he misses his brother every day of his life. And I couldn't wrap my head around it at that time, but now I'm sitting here and, like, I'm at work and I'm thinking, like, oh, I can't wait to go home. And then I'm like, wait, the reason I want to go home is not there anymore. Which sounds so heartbreaking, but, like, I promise I'm okay. Like, that sounded very dark and dramatic, but, it's like little things like that I didn't expect grief to feel like or sound like, or how it just hits you out of nowhere. How, like, I follow a Juniper Fox on Instagram. She has a lot of rehabilitated wild animals like raccoons, foxes, dogs too, and she posted the other day about how it's been a year since one of her animals passed away, and I just lost it. And that's what grief is. It comes, it goes. Weird things trigger it. Yeah. And then what else have I been thinking about? I've been thinking about friendship, and community, and borrowing, and sustainability. I feel like I've been so blessed this week that every time I've been like, wow, I'm kind of missing this. It will either immediately show up at the thrift store, like I'll wake up, like the other day I woke up and I was like, I need to go to the thrift store today. I have a feeling exactly what I want is going to be at this particular thrift store, right? Because there's like 5 in the area that I could choose to go to. And I woke up, I didn't even breakfast. I literally got dressed and went to the thrift store, and it was right there. It was right there. And I bought it, I took it home. Or how my Xbox controller has stick drift, and it is really annoying to play Minecraft and go mining with stick drift. And one of my coworkers was like, oh, you can just borrow my controller. And I'm like, no, like, that's an inconvenience. Like, what if something happens to it while it's in my possession? And he's like, no, like, I've got 5. Like, and then there's also the aspect of like, will my boyfriend think that's weird because it's a guy? And then at the end of the day, it's just someone being kind. It's just someone being like, hey, you have this need. Let me help you fill it, so then you can take your time to find the thing that you actually need, or save up the money for it, or just ultimately, at the end of the day, just be nice. Sometimes that is all it is. Sometimes it is people just wanting to be nice and wanting to be kind. And I feel like over the winter, I was so stuck in this belief of like, I'm not in my feminine energy. And like those are kind of woo-woo terms, I will admit. And femininity, masculinity, yin yang, whatever you want to call it, if you believe in it or if you don't, to each their own. But to me, masculine energy is about doing and giving, and feminine energy is about relaxing and engaging the senses. And so I was very much like, I need to be in my feminine energy. I need to be in my receiving energy. I need to stop. I need to slow down. I need to give myself a break because I was so unbelievably stressed. And all these people in my life were offering me help that I was just like, no. Or like I was not reading too much into it, because I don't think I'm one of those people, but like, it's just weird how sometimes just a simple perspective shift of maybe this person is just being nice can totally change things. Or I'm supposed to go paddleboarding with a new friend on Monday, and so many people are like, oh, I have a paddleboard. Do you want to borrow it? Stuff like that. It's just like community isn't like, I went to pick up a coworker who was stranded at work because they don't have a car and there was no internet to call an Uber, like community has been really big on my mind lately of like, what does community mean to me? And I'm honestly so very grateful that I have a community that I don't think I've ever had before or have ever bothered to look for. I think I keep reflecting on the fact that what if it was right under my nose and I just wasn't looking? And I'm just so grateful for the environment that I'm in. I have a lake 5 minutes from me. I have a river 2 minutes from me. I have a safe walking trail 2 minutes from me. All of these things, like I have friends who instead of like, oh, let's go shopping, are like, hey, what if we go for a hike instead? Or what if we go for a walk instead? Let's grab brunch instead. But mostly like people have been like, let's go hiking, let's go outside. That is something I'm so, so grateful for, is that I'm surrounded by people who don't want to just spend money, who are not interested in spending money, who just want to help each other out, who want to actually check in with each other and be like, how are you today? Have I asked you that? Like, how are you really? What's going on in life? And yeah, so like, and I feel like that goes hand in hand with the wild food thing, is I'm finally learning about the native plants in my area and feeling a little bit more connected to them, and also being completely baffled and amazed that so many things are like right under our nose are edible, and were food for people so long ago, and we've just completely forgotten how to take advantage of it or how to use it. And like there's like this fear factor involved of like, no, you don't want to eat dandelions because like those are weeds, and like what if they're dangerous, but like they're actually really, really good for you. Yeah, so there's just been a lot of things on my mind, lots of things to talk about, to interact with. There was one other one, but I'm not able to think of it right now. And we're kind of wrapping up. I left a little bit of negative space in this page because, like I said, quite frankly, I have so much to commonplace about that I don't even know. I'm almost like experiencing decision fatigue about it, about like what to write down. So I just left it. You know, sometimes some negative space is good. But I hope you guys have a lovely day because you 100% deserve it. And I will see you guys all next time.